Being born and raised in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, I have heard stories about the beast of Bray Road, also known as Wisconsin Werewolf. I know that for a fact many doesn't believe it actually exists, but I do have some friends and even some relatives who actually either seen it or heard it. I strongly believe it exists in our town because it has been part of our folklore for decades. So why not? But until this particular time, I had never even seen it or heard it myself. But I strongly believe it do exist and it will always be here. My name is Jason. This happened around 2010 when I was just 25 years old. And it also happened to my girlfriend, now wife, Erica. We were actually out of town listed for our picnic. We were actually just having a good time together on our picnic in the woods. But it wasn't until like when the sun was about to getting down, and this was during the summertime. So we decided it was time to head back home. So we were driving and we drove along Bray Road where the beast is normally seen. We talked about it. Erica also herself believed in this beast exists, but she had never seen it or heard it herself. But as we were driving on this road in a slower speed, I didn't want to hit any particular animal like a deer or even a wild boar. But as we were driving, Erica for some reason turned around. She was about to grab something from the back seat when she saw something behind the car. Something was chasing us in a fast speed. She was like, "What in the world?" she yelled out. I was like, "Whoa, what is it, Erica?" She told me something is chasing us from behind the car. I was like, "What? A wolf?" "No, something on two legs," she said almost frantically. I just turned around quickly and I saw it. Even though I was driving, which is not a good thing to do, but for only a brief second I saw what was chasing us. There was a two-walking animal, but even for a brief second, I saw it. It was like a wolf. What in... Before I can even do anything, I just turned around and stepped on the gas, and the thing chased us even further along the road. I could see and hear that Erica was freaking out, like, what is that?" she yelled out. I think I know what that is, but I stepped on the gas even harder, and after a while, the beast stopped chasing us. I didn't stop the gas until we were back in town, and when we were outside her house, we stopped and sat there to calm down for a couple of minutes. But, Jason, what was that? I was silent for a brief second. I said, "I think... No, do you think that was the beast?" "That it is. And it was the beast. I mean, we were even driving along that road where it normally has been seen. Even though I only saw it for a few seconds, but it matched exactly the description. A bipedal, walking, wolf-like being. Without a doubt, that was the beast of Bray Road that we saw. After we had calmed down enough, I took her inside her house and we told her parents. At first they didn't even believe us. But after seeing how freaked out we were, they believed us. We eventually told some friends and other family about this, but there were some doubts that we actually saw what we actually saw. Some think maybe there was a guy dressed in a suit or some form of costume. Well, first of all, we were driving maybe just around 25 miles per hour at first, but after seeing this particular beast or this thing, I stepped on the gas and was driving almost like 40 to almost 50 miles per hour, and it was still chasing us for a short time. And no human can even run that fast. And so I do believe, despite any of many others saying it was just some person behind in a suit. So yeah, we saw the legendary Beast of Bray Road that night. My name is George. I have a story that involves the Beast of Bray Road, and even if I told some of my friends and family about this, but some of my friends are actually telling me this was just one of my pranks or my jokes to them. But I will tell you, this was neither a joke or a prank. I would never even go this far as a prank or a joke. I mean, I was terrified. I was not the only one who saw this happen. My my then girlfriend, now fiance, Riley, saw this also happen because we were in the same car. This happened during the summer of 2017. We were actually having a good time at her place, or her parents' house. But we were a little bit bored, so we decided to take a night drive around 7 p.m. It was a little bit getting dark, but it was some daylight still out. So we just left her house, drove around first around the town, and then we decided to drive outside town for a little bit. And we were passing the Bray Road, the infamous Bray Road that many people knows about. And we start talking about this beast legend. Riley said, I don't really believe in this stories about the Wisconsin Werewolf and it actually is real. I was like, really? I mean, despite how many people have seen it for the past several decades by now? She laughed and said it was probably like a folklore tale that many people just been telling. Like an oral tradition. I just laughed it off and said, well, that might be the case, but it's hard to deny it. Something is out there. She said it's possible it just might be a black bear. After all, black bears is big and they're dark in color. I said, that could be some of the sightings, but not everything that's could sometimes be rational be explained. But we were just small talking about it still, and as I was driving slowly on this road, it was still a very clear day, and suddenly Riley just simply yelled out, "What in the heck is that?" I was not even sure what she's talking about because it scared me. I mean, I was jumped when she yelled so loud. I was like, what are you talking about? Look behind you. So I looked in the rear mirror and sure enough, and since there was still some daylight outside, I saw it clearly. This thing, this creature on two legs was running behind us. I first didn't believe it was actually even real, since I was driving so slow, this creature could easily parent and catch our car. So, she told me, step on the gas, get out of here, now! And I did it on like an instinct. I stepped on the gas and I just like took off. And she kept looking. I asked her if they're still behind us. Yes, and it stopped running. Faster, she told me. I stepped on the gas as fast as I could. But then she told me it's gone. Why? What? It just stopped and ran off in the woods. But I then suddenly started to slow down the speed. What are you doing? She told me. I don't want to get too fast. I didn't want to be pulled over. But we were speeding fast enough. And when we were in town, we talked about this. And we had no idea at first what it's gonna be. What could it have been? I don't think there was a bear. You don't think so? No. A bear that usually can stand on two legs, yes, but they don't run that. At least I had never seen a bear running on two legs. I've seen on four legs, but not on two. And I can tell because my family is hunters, and I have ever heard a story of a bear on two legs like that. And it even looks like a bear. It looks like a dog or a wolf. Do you think it could have been that thing that we were talking about? Without doubt, it had to be. We were even debating if we were even going to tell anyone about this particular story. And who would even believe us? But we eventually told some friends, and, well, some of them didn't believe us. Some did believe in us, though, of course, but this was a scary night for us, for sure. Thank you for listening. Hi, I'm Gary. I have a terrifying story that involves me and another group of people during a camping trip during the summer of 2015. It was so pretty terrifying it's still left a mark in our memories. This was pretty much a terrifying time for all of us. And the ones that involved in this was my then fiance, now wife, Emily, my best friend Melvin, and his girlfriend Kelly. All of us was born and raised in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. We were quite aware of this legend of this Wisconsin werewolf. And I just also should mention that me and Emily was actually getting married about a month later in July. So, and we have always been so busy for the wedding. So, my friend Melvin, he suggested we all of us take a small camping trip just to relax, to have yourself a good time before the wedding. I thought it was not a bad idea, and I have actually been camping a lot when I was younger. And I'm actually is a quite an outdoor person, so I had no problem. Emily actually loved the idea. She also been camping, and just to be saying, Emily is actually a childhood friend of mine. Yeah, even though this is not relevant, but I actually confessed my feelings to her when we were senior year of high school, and she said yes. So, but anyways, we were actually so happy, and we decided one weekend, decided to stay a whole weekend in this particular forest near Beast of Bray Road. Yeah, like I said, we were all aware of the stories about this beast. But just to make the story not too long, we found a good spot for our camp for our tent. I also have brought my shotgun and my revolver. I have a license for both, and but just for case of safety, for black bears and other animals that might be able to attack us. Melvin also had his 9mm handgun with him. And, well, we were just having a good time. There wasn't until the last day around the night between Saturday and Sunday when this actually happened. So, like I said, the very first day, it's just nothing much eventful happened. We saw a lot of animals. We normally would see deers, rabbits, you name it. So yeah, much didn't happen until the night between Saturday and Sunday. During the day, we had a lot of fun. We took a lot of walks around in the woods and all that, but it wasn't until like later that evening, around 9 p.m., we decided to have dinner around 9. A little bit later than usual, but we didn't mind at all. And we decided to just have some burgers and all that. And while we were eating, I had my revolver, and even Melvin had his handgun with him, just in case, because the smell of burning, grilling food might draw attention to some predators like bears, wolves, and just being in safety though. But as we were having our food, we started hearing some sounds a little bit distant from us. And we were like middle of the deep in the woods. And there was no like hiking trails any nearby, so we could almost like rule out other people. And we hadn't even seen any other people for during this weekend. We were the only ones that we can actually been seeing. And we were aware of what type of animals were in this particular part of the woods. But as it stepped or let the sound getting closer and closer, we thought maybe this was a big animal. So, and we had just finished our food, and then Kelly immediately yelled out, "What is that?" She yelled out. And we all looked. Even despite the fire was in a full sparkling red, but the glow of the fire was not much as we can see. This thing was standing at least a few feet away from the light from the fire, but we could still see it was at least a tall figure. I had to estimate between 6.5 to almost 7 feet tall, standing on two legs. Maybe it was a person, I thought. But why would a person just standing there? And we tried to call out to this first if this figure, but no response. Melvin grabbed his flashlight, and for a brief second, as before this thing just ran off. We saw it. You guys saw that too, right? Yeah, we all did, we all said at the same time. That was a wolf, said Melvin. But wolves don't usually stand on two legs, right? No, they don't, I said. Because I'm a hunter, and my family consists of hunters. That, Melvin, wasn't your average gray wolf. I can tell you right now what that was. But what was it? Said Kelly and even Emily. That, my friends, was a beast of Bray Road. Both Kelly and Emily looked at me with big eyes and shocked, almost like pale like ghosts. No. You're joking, right? I'm afraid not. Wait, how do you know? This is not the first time I've seen it. Wait, you've seen it before? A few times when I went hunting with my parents, with my dad and uncle. But what should we do? As we were talking, the beast came back. I then grabbed my revolver, shot the ground near it, and I told Melvin to do the same thing. And the sound of the shooting literally scared off. It suddenly took off in the woods, and it did came back. But I could see the girls was pretty much terrified and worried if this beast would even return. I told them, all of them can go to bed, to tent, and sleep. I will stay awake for a little bit longer, just to make sure. But Emily told me not to. At least she tried to convince Melvin to stay with me, but I told them not to. I can be safe. I will have my shotgun with me and my revolver full loaded. I actually stayed up until like maybe as just past midnight. It wasn't like until 1 in the morning when Melvin came out, and he decided to take the rest of the night as well. He told me that he later went to sleep around 5 in the morning. And after that, later in that same morning, we talked about it during the breakfast, and likely though this beast didn't return. But we were just shook up about all this, especially the girls. But I told them as a joke, like, now we have something to tell for future, camping trips or something like that for even future kids. I said with a joke. Do you think it could return? Melvin said, it's always a possibility like any predators, but I don't think it did. I mean, I didn't hear anything, or at least... Well, I told them it not have to worry about it since We won't be back here for a while though. And that's right, because about a month later, I got married to Emily, and we're still married, and we have a few kids of our own. We told them about the story, and they were so scared about the story, but they even asked us if it was even real. But we told them it were. So yeah, thanks for everyone listening to this story, and I appreciate it. Thank you.